What's up, everyone? This is Bill. Today I got a little video for you guys. This is the 2022 Kawasaki Z900. This is our shop bike, Monster. So you can see we've already changed out quite a bit on it. We're trying to clean this up and got quite a bit of mods to go on this bike. So we are going to be installing, and this video is going to help you. Basically what this video is going to do is just show you how to break down the bike. Okay, that way I can just refer to this video in all of the future videos where we need to take the bike apart. I'll just refer you back to this video, because this video I'm going to show you step by step how to remove all the panels, the gas tank, all the way down to underneath the airbox to the top of the motor. Okay, so this video will help you if you need to get to where your fuel pump is, if you need to get to your airbox to put a high flow filter on it, if you need to install a power commander or ignition module, or the wideband 2 with auto tune that goes with power commander. If you need to install the Graves or any other brand of the block off plates, so those be your AIS, or the words known as a pair valve. Okay, so in this video I'm going to show you step by step how to remove the panels, the seat, the cowl, the rear cowl, how to get the gas tank up and off the bike safely. I'm going to show you all that in this video, and then from there we have a few other videos coming out, because we are installing all of those things that I mentioned. So we're installing the two-step launch control, the wideband 2 with auto tune from DynoJet, the ignition module. All of that stuff plugs into Power Commander 5 and is programmable through Power Commander 5, and we also will carry all that on our website. So, and then we're also doing a high flow air filter. We have a K&N high flow filter going in, and then we also have the block off plates, and we're getting rid of all the pair valve assembly, all the AIS. We're getting rid of all that. Okay, so we will go over that stuff in separate videos, but for now, this video you can follow along. This is going to show you how to disassemble your Kawasaki Z900. This is a 22 model. There's not a whole lot of difference between the 2017. I know it's got like a different headlight assembly and stuff, and a little bit different plastic right here, but basically the same setup. Once you get underneath the gas tank and get all that stuff, it's going to be pretty much the same thing. So 2017 to 22 Kawasaki Z900. So we will get into that and show you how to disassemble everything. Okay guys, I'm going to run, if I run into problems or a problemed area, I will stop and take a break for a minute, and I'll explain to you guys and hopefully help somebody out here. Okay guys, so the first step here is going to be removing this plastic here. You'll have a 4mm Allen here on each side, and then you'll have a push pin or a push rivet. It's got a little cap on top that you push in, and then the whole thing will pull out. That's going to go here, and then you're going to have one down here. Hard to see with the lighting, but there's one in there and one up here. You only need to get these two. Don't worry about the one down here and up here. That's to take off this piece of plastic. Okay, and then you'll have one other bolt. You can see with our sliders, we do need to get in here with like a little L-shaped Allen wrench. This bolt here is what also is holding all this plastic together, and the plastic has kind of got a little L-shaped bracket inside here that interlocks it all together, so it kind of lifts up. Let's see, it kind of lifts up like this. It'll kind of slide up because it's also sitting on top of a tab up here, but it has a tab that pushes into a rubber grommet here, so it kind of pulls out and up. Okay, don't just force it, because you'll break this tab up here. And if you pull it straight out, you'll break the tab that's connected to the back of the plastic that goes in the rubber grommet. So it goes up at an angle. Okay, and then you'll have to, it'll kind of fish its way out from back behind here, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay, so let's get those off. Okay guys, I'm going to try to get this on camera as best I can here, just to show you what I'm talking about. Our bolt is out here, Allen head's out here, our two push rivets are out here, okay? So, right here, this will lift up. It's sitting in a tab on this plastic, so that'll lift up. Then this piece down here is on a push rivet, kind of upward, okay? But it's also sitting on top of a tab here, so it needs to come up, and then you can see it kind of swings out. And then you got to be careful, because then we have these sliders on. We don't want to scuff them all up, but you'll see what I'm talking about. There's a little piece back here that's going to give you a little bit of trouble getting out, but you don't want to bend it, but it is a little flexible. There it goes. So you can see how this piece looks. You see exactly what I'm talking about here. So that is going up and behind this plastic and helping this from swinging outward as you're getting up in higher speeds. Okay, so that's what holds it together. So you don't want to break that. You don't want to break, you see this bracket's very intricate the way it works. You don't want to mess none of it up. Okay, and then this plastic here is what's sitting against all this. So, this little rubber tab. Okay, so anyway, get it all loose. When you put it back together, you'll have to feed that guy up inside there and line it all back up. It'll go back on and drop down like this. Okay, but when you're taking it off, remember it goes up. This spins down, this goes up, and that will bring it right off. And then your tab that I was talking about, you see this one was damaged when we got the bike. We had to repair it. But this is the tab that goes into this rubber grommet. So it needs to pop out right here and then go upward. Anyway, hopefully that helps you get your plastics off. Guys, so we removed our seat and then we've lifted up on, or removed the cowl by sticking our key underneath here. And then we lift up on this bar. And that's what allows you to lift up on the seat. It's stuck into these rubber grommets and tucks underneath this bar here. Next step is we need to get to all this plastic. In order to do that, we need this plastic off. So that's going to be on both sides. You'll find two little 4mm Allens. We're going to remove those. We are going to be removing these up here on both sides. We're going to remove the push rivets here and here. You'll see two, one in front and one up towards the back. And that's going to allow this plastic to come off. This guy here, you can just unplug it. So this whole plastic will come off. We need to be able to get full access around the gas tank, okay? And then once we get these off, this is all one piece here. You'll see that. There's a 4mm Allen right there. That's to help remove this. Okay, we need all that gone. Okay, the only thing we don't really need to take off is going to be this tail section to do like a power commander, that type of stuff. But if you were going to remove the tail section, it's not too challenging. There's 2 Allens here, 2 Allens here. That will pop it off. There should be Allens down here. The jerk that put the bike back together didn't put them in there. So, yeah, and that all snaps back on and will come off fairly easy. Okay, if you did need to remove that. But I don't think we're going to need to for what all we're doing. We're just mainly focusing on getting under the gas tank, getting to the top of the motor. Okay, so let's get to all that. Okay guys, so when you're removing this piece of plastic that goes right here, you're gonna have that screw up there. They're gonna be a very short 4mm Allen with a little white washer on them, and it is clipped. So it's just a little rubber tab. It's got a rubber little bumper over it, but basically it fits back behind there like this. Then you push it on, and you can see it's got a couple push rivets, little push tabs that push into rubber grommets. You see one up there and one up there. Or excuse me, one here and one here. Okay, and then what I like to do, and when the screws are different, I like to just put them back in where they came from. And then we have a short one that has no washer. Don't know if it did have a washer originally or not, if it's been taken apart before, but that one goes in there to that tab. Okay, and then we have these longer ones. These are gonna go inside of here. Okay, all of them so far, 4mm Allen. Okay, this plastic upper front fairing here, the way it goes on. See, I just unplugged this. Okay, you don't have to undo these 2 push rivets here. You will have to undo the one that goes right there in that hole. So right here is going to be another little push rivet, and then you'll have the screws up top and on the side that come out. So, and then that will pop right off there. It is going to have a little push tab that goes into a rubber grommet right there, and then that piece will come off. And then after that, she is as naked can be. So that is stripped down completely other than the tail end. And now we will work on our gas tank. Okay, and then you do have this plastic trim that goes up here. You can see this is just hanging on there. You can see there's a 4mm Allen on each side to get that guy off. Okay guys, so real quick, we're going to show you where we're at. The Z900 is completely naked other than the tail end here, but all the plastic's off of it up in the front, okay? Remember, the important part here is don't turn the key. When you got stuff disconnected, that's how you cause a limp mode or check engine codes that are not wanting to clear and whatnot. Don't turn the key on. Turn the key on when it's fully back assembled, okay? So, to get the gas tank off, we need a 10mm socket. We need to remove these 2 bolts and this bracket, And then we need to remove these two bolts up here on each side of your key switch. Okay, and that will allow us to lift that gas tank up off there. Okay, and then remember we do have stuff plugged in. We have hoses underneath the gas tank, so we're gonna have to be cautious of that. I'll show you that when we get to it. Okay, so that is where we're at. If you needed your fuse box, there it is right there. Okay, so you could have followed along to get to your fuse box at this point. And then a common ground. Okay, so if you need ground wiring, those two spots are where they are factory OEM recommended for ground wiring. Okay, so onto the gas tank. Remember, 10mm Allen, get these off. Just for reference, the shorter bolts hold this bracket right here. Okay, we can set that aside. Remember how it goes. These nut tabs are covering the gas tank. Okay, here's some more 10 mils. The longer bolts right here with the washers go up top. All right, so now we'll remove those. Okay, the ones that came out of here are the same size as the ones that go up in the front, but they don't have washers on them, okay? And they are in this rubber grommet with a steel cap over it that comes out. That's a little insert that goes into your rubber grommet, okay? So there you go. Okay, tank is loose. Remember, we do have different lines going to it and whatnot. These are breathers down here. Okay, we'll need to unplug those, and then we'll need to be able to lift up on it, and I'll show you everything that disconnects underneath. See if I can get someone out here to film for me. Okay guys, so here's what it looks like when we lift the gas tank up. So here's the lines you need to worry about. You see this reddish brown tab? You're gonna put a screwdriver, flathead screwdriver here. You pull out on this like a little key, okay? You pull out, and then this will come off, have a rag ready. A little bit of fuel is gonna drip from that barb that's hanging down off the tank. And then you can see this green coated cable. You need to undo it from that little assembly there and unplug it right there. So that way when we get this off, it's just gonna lift straight up. And then I believe you have another, here, lift up a little bit. Nope, that looks like it. So, okay, so we're gonna get that done real quick. Be very careful with this, don't break this. Okay, gas will go everywhere, you will make a mess, and you won't be able to plug it back in. Okay guys, so we got the gas tank lifted up and off the bike. You can see this is how this little assembly works. This is pretty common to use this type of connector for a motorcycle. So this is where it connects to the fuel coming out of the bike. So you stick a screwdriver, flathead screwdriver, underneath this little tab here, and you lift this thing out slowly, and fingers crossed you don't snap it in half, because then you'll need a new key. But it just needs to go up all the way like that, and then pull very gently and slowly, maybe give it a little twist, and this will pop off of the metal nipple under the gas tank. You can see we did undo our breathers, and we set the clamps aside so we don't lose them. And then we undid this plug here, and you can see what I was talking about. This is some of the can of worms that we got into when we purchased this bike. Is someone did a real nice job of breaking this clip and then zip tying it, and then no zip ties to hold any of this down. So it's all just hanging underneath the bike. And then this goes to a charger. I mounted it because it was just dangling in there, scratching everything up on top of this. So just so you can see, you know, this is what we got to deal with when we work on a bike that isn't, you know, up to the specs that we would do. This is clearly not an install that I would do. But that's one of the reasons why we wanted to diagnose everything and take it all apart. We will leave the quick shift, works good, but we need to rewire all this so it's nice and clean, tucked out of the way, not just dangling around. And then rewire this because it goes under the frame and underneath everything here, but it's not tucked in over here, so it was literally just hanging underneath. So anyway, so that is where we're at. So now you could remove this here. It's your ECU and everything. And then you could remove all these Phillips head screws and change out the filter inside your airbox. That's the step that we are at now, what you could do. And then if you're wanting to remove the airbox, it's going to require a little bit more. So you can see you have 10mm bolts here and here. Okay, and then the other very challenging part about this whole thing is you can see right under there, the tip of my finger, there's a little Allen head bolt. That is the top of all 4 throttle bodies. Okay, all 4 of them are gonna have an Allen head little clamp. You can see that you need something long to get in there, but the 2 middle ones are here and one from the other side, and then you have the front one here and one up in front there. You need to take this hose clamp off. You need to unplug it here. You need to remove this metal bracket, and then we can get under the airbox to actually get to the top of the motor. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do now. Like I said, if you're running into any problems, I'll let you guys know, but you can see another little thing we're gonna have to deal with and figure out why are the tab holding the brake lines, why is it popped out? It shouldn't be. So, yeah, just little stuff, nothing major wrong with the bike. It's, like I said, it's got 500 miles on it. But we just want to diagnose every bit of it and understand what's going on with it so we can repair and replace anything that needs replaced and fix anything that needs fixed. Okay, so on to the next. We're going to remove the airbox. And this is your time now. If you're doing a K&N filter, you could stop here, remove your airbox lid, replace your filter, and you're good to go. Remember, this will have to come off to be able to lift the cover off of the airbox. Okay guys, so if you were following along, we're now at the point of removing the airbox. So we put our new K&N filter in here, and there'll be a link below to that video showing all that. And then you use this video for your disassembly and reassembly. We're going to need to unplug the airflow sensor. We're going to need to unplug this hose right here. When we look, there was one other thing. The throttle bodies have a 3mm Allen, so you can get inside from here. You can see it right there. So you can get inside here to cylinder number 1, and then back from this side, you got to reach way in there to cylinder number 2. Same on the other side, from the other side, front, rear. Okay, then this just lifts up off of here. You'll need to put that back when you're done. Okay, and then you are going to have, I thought, yeah, and then these 2 10mm bolts up here. Okay, so we will remove these 2, disconnect our hose here, our sensor, unplug it. This is just a little Deutsch connector. It's a little tab underneath. You squeeze. There you go. It's out. Easy peasy. Don't break it. Okay. So there we go. We will get this airbox off and we'll show you what it looks like underneath. And remember to plug the holes. You stuff a paper towel in the holes when you get this off of here, because you're going to be exposing those throttle bodies. You do not want something to fall down inside there. Okay guys, so now we got the airbox up and out. Remember, you want to put something in here so you don't drop nothing inside here, inside the throttle bodies. Those aren't going to move. They are electronic. And remember, at this point, do not turn the key. Pull the key out of the ignition. Don't do anything stupid. Okay? So you'll have a nipple here that goes to the bottom of the airbox, nipple here that goes to the bottom of the airbox, and then the plug here for the sensor. Okay? 2 bolts up here. Airbox lifts up and out. Okay? Remember the Allen head, they're 3mm Allen. It goes one here. From this side, one here, one here. You can get in there with a long Allen wrench. So we are also going to be doing a pair valve delete, or AIS delete, on this bike. That means we remove these. So we have a Graves Performance delete kit. You'll remove these, unplug the sensor, and put plates on there. Whoever had this bike before did the cheap old, let's just plug the hose, put a cap on the bottom of the airbox, and call it a day. We're going to actually do it right. Remove these. I don't recommend this crash, dude. This is garbage. So then we got to rewire all this rat's nest, fix a broken connector here, rewire this rat's nest. Like, man, fun parts of buying a used bike, even though it only had 500 miles, right? Still new. Can of worms, spaghetti underneath. But anyway, that's why we're doing what we do. You see this little thing sticking out. So this is, we're just tracing this back. This would be factory. This is what this little nipple here goes to, okay? We're going to replace the hoses with some yellow hoses to make it look a little nicer. But you get the idea. So that's where we're at in the teardown. Now at this point, this is where you would clean everything up. This is where you would install Power Commander 5. This is where you do that pair valve delete. So we'll have separate videos on that stuff. I'm going to end this video off here. We're going to clean things up, and then we're going to come back. We will have a Power Commander 5 install video, the ignition module install, Then we will have the pair valve delete. We'll have a K&N filter video. All those videos are going to use this video as the teardown video. That's why I did this separately, because it's going to be long and drawn out, trying to show you how to assemble everything and disassemble. So follow the steps in reverse to put the bike back together. Do whatever you need to do here. Remember, you have a few grounding locations if you need to use them for any kind of LED lighting, power commander, or whatever you need to use ground for. You can use it up there. You have your battery terminals here. Okay, so if you needed to get inside of here this far, you can follow the steps in this video. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. This is going to end this one. I'll catch you guys in the next one. If you got any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Remember, we offer parts for this bike. We have power commander, ignition module, two-step launch control. We have all that for this bike. Our two-step launch control installs up here on this push button. It comes with a little sticky tape to put on here, so it's got a little grip tape on it. You disassemble this right here. Launch control runs down to the power commander. When you hold this in, you are in launch control. You can set it on a timer. You can set it for whatever RPM you want. You can dump your clutch, and then once you got control of the bike, let out the launch control button, and you're back up to full throttle. Okay, really cool little system. We're going to utilize it on this bike, and we'll show it off later on down the road, but it's the same as the install on the 400. It has an install video for it. It'll be exactly the same on this bike after you have Power Commander installed. So if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me. There'll be an email below, all kinds of links to get a hold of me. Our website, our Etsy shop. We have tons of parts coming out for this bike. We just actually released our block-off plate for the rear pegs. That'll work on the left or right side. You can see there it says BLR Tuning. It's nice and raised. I think the black looks really clean, but we do offer it in multiple colors. And you can get it so it says Kawasaki or 900 on it, or a blank plate. You can put a decal on it. Anyways, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Remember to haul ass wherever you go. Peace.